Roepke again, and today I'm with three legends of Chaska Cubs baseball. They just were honored as part of throwing out the first pitch before this next game, and so it's Bob Bruers, Don Jorrisen, Elmer Young. Elmer's from the 1940s and 50s, Don's from the 50s, Bob's from the 1960s, right?
Yeah.
So let's just go through a little bit, and I'll start here with Bob and just talk about what was it like playing for the Cubs? I mean, what stood out for you? What did you enjoy most about the experience?
I think two things, Bob. One is playing with these wonderful teammates.
Yeah.
We've remained lifelong friends, and so that was one thing. Secondly, we played in this ballpark, this very ballpark. The only difference, the big difference between then and now is then the fences were made of wood and there was colorful advertising.
Right.
Secondly, the dugouts were dug out, they were below.
Yes, go down.
So all the beer drinkers would stand behind the dugout,
Right.
and when you got up to hit, they would give you encouragement sometimes.
Maybe some discouragement sometimes, yeah. Right. But I remember, so the wooden signs that with advertising on it,
Yeah.
of course the place would flood.
That's right.
That wasn't good for the
Yeah,
wooden
it
fence.
was costly, and
yeah.
you had to go out and sell all the advertising. This is much better,
Right.
but it was colorful.
Right. And you had some good teams in the 60s,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Fun memories.
Fun.
Batting second, playing third, number
Don
40, Don Clapp.
came up and actually played in the Brooklyn Dodger organization and was signed by the Dodgers. And where did you go? You went out to Montana? Was it to play?
I went out to Great Falls, Montana.
Yeah, Great Falls, Montana.
After spring training. I was out there 2 years, and then I went over to Hornell, New York.
Hornell,
And
New York.
I developed a sore arm after pitching out in Great Falls in 32 degrees,
Oh, wow.
9 innings.
Oh, is that right?
The arm wouldn't come loose, so they sent me over to New York, over to Hornell.
Oh, okay.
So I finished out the year there, and then the next year they sent me down to Reno, Nevada,
Okay.
and the Silver Sox.
Okay. And that was your last year?
That was my last year.
Okay.
That year, I had enough of it, so I came back home.
back
That was enough.
Yeah. And then you ended up playing for the Cubs
Yes,
for
yes.
a dozen years or so?
I came back from pro ball,
Yeah.
and I went back to Clone and finished out the season there in 58.
Yeah.
And 59, I joined Chaska team, and I pitched there till I was 36 years old.
Okay.
But one thing about the Chaska team, they were more dedicated.
Okay.
They went to bed at night.
Oh, is that right?
And
They cared about baseball.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's what you have to do if you're going to be alert.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I enjoyed playing with these guys. I got to know all these guys.
Oh, good.
Elmer was down on third base, and Bob was on first,
Yeah. Right.
and I was in the middle. So,
And you guys are still together. I mean,
Yeah.
you still can get together like this.
Yeah.
There's two great stories that involve you, Don. One was with the Dodgers when you had breakfast with somebody.
Jackie.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jackie, yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, when I came down to spring training, we landed at the airport down in Vero Beach, and we took the bus out to where the Dodgers had their camp, and they used the old naval barracks. So there was a guy standing at the gate when we came in, big colored guy, and I thought, well, he must be the gardener. He's fooling around with the flowers. So the next morning, I come down to supper or breakfast, and he's sitting at the table. It was a picnic table. He was all alone. So there's nowhere else to sit. So I thought, well, he's a gardener. I can talk. I'm a farmer. I can talk to him about what's going on with the flowers and everything. So I talked about that stuff. Never talked about baseball. And when I was done, I got up, to go back up to the room, get ready for baseball. And my roommate came over, and he says, geez, how do you know him? And I said, who? Jackie Robinson. I said, well, who's that? I didn't know.
All right.
On the farm, we had Wheaties boxes, and they had Mickey Mantle on there, Joe DiMaggio. Didn't have anybody else on there. That's the only two I knew.
Right.
So that's how it
Well, you had
happened.
breakfast with a legend.
Yeah.
His numbers hanging in every ballpark in the major leagues.
He was,
Jackie Robinson.
He was,
Then you played against Waconia one night. Pitched a 19-inning game. You and Lowell McMillan.
that was down
right
here.
down here. I remember being at that game.
Yeah.
19 innings.
19 innings, and we didn't walk. Peter guy didn't walk him.
And you struck out 24 guys.
Yeah. And
And
McMillan.
lost the game 1-0, right?
Yeah.
Guys just couldn't
On
come
a
through
bobble.
with a runner. Right.
I don't know. Were you on that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in that game.
Yeah.
They were getting tired. It was 1:30, I think.
Yeah, I bet. 1:30
Yeah,
in
it
the
was time to
morning.
go home.
Yeah, really, right. And Elmer Young. Elmer, when did you play? What years did you play for the Cubs?
I can't remember all the years, but
Yeah.
going back, I think it started, we used to have a B League, the Royals they call them, and then in 48 I went with the Cubs,
Okay.
and I was on the bench for the first year, and then Scrubby Englehart retired, and I got his position at second base.
Scrubby retired and you filled in for him then.
For second base, yeah.
Okay.
And then I played with Bill Shallow and Sparrow
Yeah, you Sparrow Jorrisen.
and Hauser.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you had some really good teams back
Oh,
then, yeah?
excellent teams,
Yeah. So you played in the first game in this ballpark?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
1950
saw it
when it
right
was
out in
built.
front of the grandstand there. They
Yeah.
brought it in and trucked and we laid it down, and everybody, it was volunteer work. It wasn't done by
Yeah, it was
anybody.
done by all community volunteers, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah, right. So what were highlights for you playing in all those years? If you
There were
played
so
18
many,
years?
I can't remember them all.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. But yeah, you had some big rivalries, didn't you?
Well, I remember one time when I was playing and we were winning the game. I forget it was St. Bonnie or somebody. And we had them beat.
Next
We
up, the
had
Lakers.
two men on, second and third. 2 outs, last of the ninth. Picked the ball up and threw it right over the first baseman's head and outside the ballpark. And they beat us 4-3.
Oh, no! Is that
I
right?
remember that like it was yesterday.
Well, you had a strong arm. Yeah,
Well,
right,
never
up
know
and
where
out
it
of
was
the
gonna
park.
go, but,
Yeah. Did you play in that memorable fan appreciation game against Shakopee when John Risky hit the home run?
I was there, yeah.
Yeah?
In fact,
Were you
I think
on
I was on third
I
base.
must have been. I don't remember it though.
I remember. I said, oh, good.
Well, I think walk-off grand slam,
grand
bottom of
slam,
the
yeah.
ninth. And the place was packed. That's one thing about amateur baseball then. I mean, the crowds were really
Yeah.
big because professional baseball hadn't gotten out here to Minnesota yet.
No, not really.
Yeah, so you had a lot of fan following, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, they let you know when you played a bad game too.
Oh, I'm sure, right? So you played down at down by the Valley Ballroom.
Right.
And that's
That's why I started playing down
where you
there.
started playing.
And shagged a lot of foul balls.
Foul balls?
And
What'd they pay you back then for a foul ball? Did you get a nickel?
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, right. Okay. Okay. Well, it's fun talking to you guys. It's fun to have you as part of this whole celebration and recognizing what you've meant to Chaska baseball, because you have meant a lot. You all have left an imprint, whether you realize it or not. You've left an imprint on the history of Chaska baseball. And so the players today, you know, they stand on shoulders like you guys, you know, and that's what makes it so special. So thanks for being part of this. It was an honor for us to honor you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. We'll see you next time.